Hello everyone, my name is Chief Laos and welcome to my Halo 4 tips and tricks video. This is going to be my beginner's guide for Halo 4 multiplayer. This is meant for all of you guys who are just hopping on the bandwagon on the Halo franchise now, because I know a lot of people are just starting to play Halo now for the first time, now that there is a new trilogy coming around by 343 Industries. So I'm going to be teaching you guys some simple basics in Halo 4's multiplayer so that you guys can get a grasp of certain concepts within the multiplayer, and therefore you can build upon your multiplayer experience. And I'm going to be covering such things as player movement, where you're strafing, meleeing, utilizing your motion sensor, and grenade bouncing. So without further ado, my name is Chief Laos Geronimo, and let's get started. The first technique I'm going to be talking about is strafing. Strafing is key to Halo 4's multiplayer. Strafing is horizontal movement, and the whole goal behind doing a strafe movement is to throw your enemy's aim off of you, so therefore they will probably miss more shots. But strafing can be very predictable, so you got to change it up every time. So throw a crouch in there, do some long or some short movements, maybe throw a jump every once in a while, but not too often, as it makes you a bigger target. And like I said, the whole goal of strafing is to throw your enemy's aim off a target, but you got to try and maintain your aim on your target as well, so you can hopefully win the gun battle. The melee system in Halo consists of a few things. It takes two regular punches to the front or to the sides to take out an enemy, one to take down the shields and one to kill them. But you can also just do one melee to the back of the head to kill them, or if you hold the melee button, you go into a cool assassination animation. But there is a downside to this, as you cannot move until the animation is finished, so make sure you're in a safe area to do so. Here's a quick demonstration of the motion tracker system in Halo 4. As you can see, I have a player running on up a slope to my left. As you can see, the motion tracker shows a red dot to indicate the player, but also an arrow up above it to indicate that this player is above me. Now this red dot does disappear when the player stops moving, and it is all based on movement. And also, people can disappear off the radar when they are crouched, so be careful when you just see a random red dot disappear off your radar. And here's also just showing what it looks like when somebody's below you. Obviously there's just going to be a lower red arrow below the red dot on the motion tracker. On to grenade techniques. It takes one frag grenade to take down the enemy shields. As you can see, the shields are now flickering, giving you the A-OK to shoot them in the head to kill them off. Here we have an example of the plasma grenade. You can stick into players and they blow up, instantly killing them. And here's an example of the new grenade, the Promethean pulse grenade, which bounces off the player and then immediately pulsates, killing the player inside. Here's a quick comparison between the grenades. The pulse grenades do not bounce at all, they expand off of surfaces. The plasma grenade does bounce, but has a softer bounce in comparison to the frag grenade. Alright, onto some of these frag bouncing techniques. Here's a great one. If somebody's right behind you, throw one at your feet, and then you can shoot them once in the head, provided that their shields have been lowered by that frag. You don't always have to jump though, you can just simply turn around and shoot them, but you do risk of hurting yourself with your own frag grenade. Here's a great one. If somebody's camped around the corner, just bounce a frag grenade around the corner to pop them one shot in the head once their shields are down. You can do anything basically with these grenades. You can bounce them off. Here's a great one. If somebody's following behind you again, throw it off a surface in front of you. Plasma grenades do kill immediately, but like I said before, they don't not bounce as effectively. Here's the same example with a frag grenade, but you still have to shoot them once in the head. That is it for some of these beginner tips. Practice them in Forge mode before we go into multiplayer. Now I'm going to be showing you guys some examples of me using some of these techniques in multiplayer. Now on to some multiplayer examples here. Just in a few seconds here, I'm going to show a perfect nade toss anticipating the forward movement of the king and regicide. Now unfortunately, the best way to avoid that is to backpedal, which that player did not do. Now here's some also examples here in the bottom of Haven. You can actually throw grenades underneath this fixture in the middle. Here, although it may not be the most pretty kill, I was able to clean up the person's shields with two grenades and then finish them off with one shot to the head. Here's an example of when to throw in a melee into the mix. As you can see, this area is completely crowded unexpectedly as I go and approach the king. Now I realize I have an advantage over everybody else in that the king's back was actually facing me, allowing me to have a one punch to the back of the head. Here's actually a flaw within my gameplay. I was caught in tunnel vision, basically removing the ability for me to monitor my radar. As a result, a player snuck up on me and decided to punch me in the face. And immediately the best return is to punch him right back, allowing us to have an equal playing field with both lowered shields. Now I noticed that the player actually threw a grenade first as its first reaction, so it gave me the all clear to go on in and punch him in the head to finish off the kill, but unfortunately he did line up one bullet to the head just in time to finish me off as well. Here's some examples of how the simplest strafing can help you win the battle. As you can see, this player is only moving in the backwards direction, so by simply strafing to one direction, to the right in this instance, I was able to clean up the kill and kill the player. Now here's an example of a failed grenade toss, so I immediately began strafing once I hit the ground. The enemy was strafing as well, but he lacked the accuracy to kill me. Here we have some examples combining some simple movements of sprinting and jumping to throw a grenade, allowing for a beautiful grenade toss, allowing me to have one shot to the head to clean that kill up. And here's another example of doing a few more bounces and jumps to get some more momentum, to bounce grenades, to kill some players, and then clean up to get a nice beautiful double kill. Now, following this double kill, I noticed somebody sneaking up on my radar, so preemptively I throw a grenade down on the ground. It is a plasma grenade and doesn't bounce that well, and this player actually realized that I was doing this grenade technique and took the corner widely, avoiding the grenade and allowing him to kill me. Here's some examples of utilizing the radar. Now, immediately I spawned and noticed that the motion tracker pointed out an enemy was down below me, so I took a shortcut and jumped over the ledge to shoot the player. Now, to quickly differentiate where this player was, I noticed that on the radar, it actually has arrows indicating where the player's position is relative to you. This is essential for you guys to notice these things, especially multi-level maps, so you can figure out if a player is above or below you. Now let's break on down this last clip for you guys. Now I noticed there's immediately 3 people in this area all fighting it out together. So immediately I throw a grenade on it, attempting to see if I can steal a kill. And sure enough, I do. Now immediately once this happens, I realize that there's 2 people left and they're actually facing each other the entire time. So there's one player that has its back to me and one player facing me. So when I see the player in the background, that is the one facing me. So I immediately throw a grenade on down to attentively take down their shields while I deal with the player that has their back to me that is closest to me. So I clean that up with a punch to the back, and then with that shield simultaneously being taken down by the grenade I tossed earlier, allowing me to then shoot him in the head to clean up with a nice triple kill. Following the triple kill, I instinctively jump on down to then deal with these last 2 enemies that are shooting me. Now I did this because I noticed the motion tracker actually showed that the enemy was right behind me on my level, and I noticed that an enemy in front of me was actually a lower level below. So I immediately decided to break the line of sight with the enemy behind me by jumping through the crack and immediately go after the player in front of me. So I utilized the corner to take him out with a charged bolt shot, and then immediately hug the corner as the enemy behind me follows me and instinctively rushes the corner, and then allows me to shoot him up and clean up the kill to finish off the clip. Alrighty guys, that is it this time around. I hope you guys found this somewhat informative and hope you guys apply these basic tips and tricks into your gameplay to help further your skill in Halo 4's multiplayer. My name is Chief Landless. Link will be down below in the description to my channel if you happen to be watching this elsewhere. Come and check it out. I got tons of Halo 4 content. My name is Chief Landless, and I'm signing out.